The advent of recorded music did not reduce the value or demand of live music. They coexist happily and with reciprocal benefit. The same will be true of art displays versus art reproductions. But it's also the case that while the human eye shows few signs of evolving into an instrument with improved acuity in the next decade, the quality of projected and displayed images will soon surpass our ability to detect the differences between the real and the reproduced, as we've seen from Google Prado. Thus, we have to reframe the argument. However, there's one key difficulty with the argument that we lose access to an original's aura when viewing a digital reproduction. The average museum goer spends an average of only 3 seconds in front of a work of art, according to the American Association of Museums. So there's a willful suspension of reason in arguing that for the vast majority of museum goers, non-experts, a high-resolution image of a work of art cannot in some way substitute for the 3-second glance. And behind this explanation must be a fear that artworks will be made less significant by the promulgation of digital images, which is impossible. The opposite is by definition true. The more an artwork is reproduced, the more the original is coveted. On the one hand, it's threatening to see the diminution in the number of artistic creations that involve the human hand, and the perceived rarity of single artifacts, as opposed to infinitely reproducible multimedia-based artworks, like this Bill Viola. On the other hand, this new development should recall for all of us that the experience of an artwork in a museum is a highly compromised experience from the outset. We haven't had time this evening to note many other opportunities presented by new technology in museums. Technological innovation has promise in many new areas of our museums, far from the galleries visible to the public. Registrars, for example, have long sought to streamline the documentation of collections, both static and in transit. One opportunity awaiting us is the barcoding of works of art in a standardized format to allow for their tracking and the automation of record keeping. A simple enough innovation in grocery stores, it could lead to improved inventory management and security. And by publishing the movement of works of art, as we do in Indianapolis, we can better make the case to the public that no permanent collection is truly permanent. Here are the number of works of art freshly on view this month in Indianapolis. Here are the number of works currently out on loan. Not exactly permanent. From loans to conservation, treatment to new acquisitions, our so-called permanent galleries are constantly changing. And we can do a better job of enticing our restless potential visitors to return to galleries that have new works on view every month. The metrics of art museum performance are at best poorly understood and at worst made up. New technologies are essential in tracking and reporting the performance of art museums. By counting and making statistics available for our funders and our audiences, we stand a better chance of retaining the loyalty of patrons today and of encouraging the support and participation of patrons tomorrow. Here's our museum in Indianapolis down here, and this is the grounds of the museum, which is 152 acres of grounds. Having subjected you to a lengthy forecast of how innovations in technology can help spare us from mounting irrelevancy, I'd like to close by thanking Philippe de Montebello for the invitation to participate in this noteworthy course, to thank the Prado for so graciously hosting me, and you for your considerate attention. I believe that art museums can have a brighter future by inviting more people to learn about us as we continue to learn about our collections and our mandate, and I construe this course to be a worthwhile step in encouraging that voyage of discovery. Muchísimas gracias.